43 years ago, the Loukil Group started out as an agro-industry company and now boasts a portfolio of more than 30 businesses. The founder's son and CEO, Bassem Loukil, not only wants half of the company's revenues to come from international operations, but is also eyeing out the $1 billion mark.
We have a never-growing middle class in Africa that's in constant need for new products, growing demand for finances, for infrastructure, for distribution networks. No one can address all of these issues at once by himself. So key strategic partnerships are in high demand today. My name is Bassem Loukil. I'm the CEO of the Loukil Group, based out of Tunisia.
Tell me about the starting point for Loukil Group. I know it's a family business. You've grown it from zero to hundreds of millions of dollars worth.
It all started in 1976. Tunisia was still a young country after independence in 1956. My father, being an engineer, agricultural engineer, found his destiny in selling agricultural equipment, fertilizers, anything that had to do with agriculture.
What was the vision for your father back then when he started, and how did he actually do it to grow to this size?
As the economy grew and diversified, so did our activities. That's when we started in the construction machinery, automobile. Little by little, we increased our industrial capacity to include transportation equipment, then telecommunication equipment. Then, and back in the 90s, we got into anything that does with oil production, especially for the Libyan and Algerian markets. Those two countries, rich in oil and gas, helped us develop these new industries through exports, through subcontracting with international companies.
Your company's obviously survived a lot of cycles. How did you survive?
We decided that branching out, developing new markets, especially in the sub-Saharan African countries, were a must. We were active since the late 80s in Africa, but because of lack of transportation, being air transportation or sea transportation, our contacts and dealings with sub-Saharan Africa were limited to certain items, and the volume was small because of financing problems. That's when we focused on North Africa. After 2011, we started being much more aggressive, and we had to find ways of developing these transactions, finding new financing tools. That's when the Afrexim Bank came in. We needed to find also ways of delivering these goods in a much more economic and faster way. We had to build strategic relations in many of these countries.
You're in around 11 countries across the continent. You're doing everything from cocoa, tomatoes, cashew nuts, to even automotive space as well. Such a diverse portfolio. How do you keep track of all these sectors and all these divisions within your company?
Well, keep in mind that these businesses were launched and grown over the last 42 years. It's not something we've done overnight, one. Two, for every business activity, you need to have the right people in the right place at the right time. You have to be yourself convinced that that activity is profitable, that you can control it, and you understand it, and that there's great potential in the future.
Well, thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Marketplace Africa. Check out our website as well as our social media pages. From me, Lenny Jokos, here in Johannesburg. I'll see you next time in the Marketplace.